Okay, so now on the bottom of the page is page 45, but we're going to do writing and evaluating addition and subtraction expressions. So it's very similar to what we've been doing. You can read through the first two on your own. I'm going to go to this next one, the Abby one. So read through the first two on your own, make sure you understand it, and then I'll go through two of them, and then I'm going to have you try it. You're going to pause, and then hopefully you can do it, okay? So it says, Abby has 8 more books than Kristen in the first marking period. Write an expression for the number of books Abby read. Okay, so up here, describe the units. So when you get to upper level algebra, you just say let for the, instead of having to say the whole thing, you can just say let, and then you figure out where your variable is. So we're going to say let K equal Kristen's books. Oops, Kristen's books. I returned it. There we go. And then we need to come up with an equation. So it says Abby read 8 more books than Kristen. So that would be Kristen plus 8, because if Kristen read 7 books, and then Abby would read 8 more. So then we go over here and she says she's read 9 books. So we're going to go K plus 8 equals 9 plus 8, which equals 17. So we can say that that Abby read 17 books, okay? Now we go to the next one. Let Abby read 6 more books than Kristen in the second marking period. Write an expression for the number of books Kristen read, okay? So again, we need to define our variable, so let, and this time we know what Abby has read, but not Kristen, so let A equals Abby. Oops, and I've got my equal sign, so A equals Abby. So now we think, what is it going to be our equation? Well, 6 more books than Kristen, so that means Abby minus 6 is going to be our equation because she reads more books. Abby reads more books. So then we go over here and we do our A minus 6 equals 20 minus 6, which is going to equal 12. So, 14. I subtracted wrong, 14. And so Kristen read 14 more books, okay? Now we go to the next one. And then at this point, I'd like you to pause it and try these on your own and then check your answers. But if you just need to go through it with me, that's fine too. Daryl has been teaching for 1 year longer than Julie. Write an expression for the number of years Daryl has been teaching, okay? So we can look and look in the last column, in the third column, and it says Julie has been teaching. So we're going to have let J equal Julie. And so now we got to come up with our equation. So Daryl has been teaching 1 year longer than Julie. So however long Julie has taught, you add 1 for Daryl's. And if you want to make it into a good equation, you could put equals D, but you don't have to. So then we go over here and we know J plus 1 equals 28 plus 1, which equals 29. So we know Daryl has been teaching 29 years. Oops, and I should make it up so that it's not in the other box, okay? Now we look at the next one. We can see over here that it's going to be we have Julia. So we're going to, again, let J equal Julia. And remember, you can use any variable for these. And it says Ian scored 4 fewer goals than Julia in a season. So 4 fewer goals then, so 4 fewer than Julia, so J minus 4, because it's a turnaround equation. And then we go over here and we solve it. So J minus 4 is going to equal 13 minus 4, which equals 9. So Ian scored 9 more goals basically. You don't have to say the whole thing. Okay. Next one, we can see it's Ian. So I know the I is kind of confusing because but we're going to say let I equal Ian. Usually I wouldn't like to use that, but they do in the book, so I will, just so that you know which person you're dealing with. So Ian, it says scored 3 fewer goals than Julia. So it's kind of the same thing, but now you're using Ian instead of Julia. So it's going to be Ian plus 3. Because you have Ian's, and so Ian plus 3 equals 8 plus 3, which equals 11. So Julia scored 8 goals. So it's mainly thinking about how to make it work. Okay, and the last one, this one we're using Arthur, so let A equals Arthur. So then you look and it says that Johan has visited Niagara Falls 3 times fewer than Arthur. So Arthur minus 3. A minus 3 equals 5 minus 3, which equals 2. So Juan visited 2 times less. Okay, and we have one more page of these, and it's the same thing that we've been doing. And so we'll go through this page, and then I'll stop and start a new one for the next one. Okay, so look, and it says Anna over here. So let A equals Anna. And so it says Ella wrote 8 more stories than Anna. So Ella wrote 8 more stories than Anna. So it's going to be A plus 8, which is going to be 10 plus 8. Oh, I forgot. A plus 8, which is 10 plus 8, which is 18. So, oh, did I do something wrong? Nope, I didn't. Sorry, I was looking at it and I did it wrong in my book, but 18. So, Ella wrote 18 more books. Okay, next one. Well, they want it to be Danica, so let D equals Danica. Then you have to figure out Lisa has been dancing for 3 more years than Danica. So, D plus 3, because Danica plus the 3 years. So, then over here we go D plus 3 equals 6 plus 3, which equals 9. So she has danced for 9 more years. Okay, got 3 more problems on this one. Okay, so then we look, and it's this one's going to be a little bit different because you have the Rangers and you have the Buffalo Sabres. So they say let G equals goals, but let's do let R equal goals scored by Rangers. Because sometimes it's easier to have the first letter of it. Okay, so it's 2 fewer goals than the Sabres. So it's going to be the Rangers plus 2, because the Sabres were 2 less goals. Then we go over here and solve it. R plus 2 equals 3 plus 2, which equals 5. So they scored 5 goals. So the not the Buffalo Sabres, sorry. It's the Rangers scored 5 more, or the Buffalo Sabres, yeah. Buffalo Sabres scored 5 more goals, okay? Then we go to this one, and George, and we're looking at G is George, so let G equal George. And it says George has gone camping 3 fewer times than Dave. So George plus 3, because it's George, you're going to add 3 to George to get it right. So G plus 3 equals 8 plus 3, which equals 11. So Dave has gone camping 11 times. Okay. Now last one, if Dave went camping, or if George went camping, so you're using the same one from above, went camping 15 times, how would you figure out how many times Dave went camping? Well, we know that it is George plus 3, and now we know that it is 15 times that he is gone. So George went camping 15 times, sorry. And so we go 15 plus 3, which is 18 times, okay? And then that's it for this video, and then we'll have another one, and the next one's going to be on multiplying and dividing.